Hello and welcome to a new video review, this time about the March Compact Tactical with a magnification from 1.5 to 15 by 42. March is a very well known company and they got their great reputation from a lot of rifle scopes till now. Some of them are very well known in the F-class community, especially the 8 to 80 or 10 to 60, and in recent years also in the tactical and ELR type of shooting. And a great example for ELR is the Genesis, which is a one-of-a-kind rifle scope produced only by March, because it has a completely different design than all others on the market. Now, all March rifle scopes are made by the company Dion Optical Design, which is located in the Suwa region in central Japan. And the company was established in 2004 with engineers with a lot of experience from before. As I said, March scopes are made in Japan, and what is also special that all the parts in their rifle scopes come only from Japan. So they don't, let's say, take parts from other manufacturers out of Japan. This is included the lenses, so also lenses are also made in Japan. Now, this scope I have here, the March Compact, was introduced in 2021, and as you can see, the scope is really compact. So it is one of the shortest and smallest rifle scopes currently on the market. It is almost the same length as some rifle scopes with a magnification from 1 to 6 or 1 to 8, but this scope has a lot of bigger objective lens, which is 42, and this means you get a lot more light in the scope, so the image is a lot brighter if you use the scope in lower light conditions. Now, as I said, the magnification goes from 1.5 and goes all the way up to 15, so it has a true 10 times zoom magnification, which is, for such a compact rifle scope, it's something special. You don't get something like this in from other brands till now. Now, the objective, as I said, is 42 millimeters, but the outside objective diameter is 51 millimeters. You will need this diameter if you want to mount a clip-on or thermal attachment. And something special about the short design of this scope is, if you have a night vision or thermal device, you have a lot shorter way to manipulate with the device. So it is much easier to use this scope with a front attachment as if you use the attachment with a much longer rifle scope. Now, the scope is completely made out of metal and it is argon perched, so you will get no internal fogging even if you use the scope in very cold environment. The scope is also shockproof, so you can use the scope on all calibers, so 50 BMG included. It is also very lightweight. It is only 620 grams, and yeah, 268 millimeters of length. The warranty is 10 years, but from my experience it's most probably that you will not need any warranty, because we sold really a lot of March rifle scopes and till now not even a single one came back for repair. The price is approximately 2,700 euro, so it is quite a expensive rifle scope, but as I said, it is a really special rifle scope because on the small magnification you have a really big field of view for fast target acquisition, but on 15 times zoom you get great details. So in my opinion it is one of the most universal rifle scopes on the market. The reticle is in the second focal plane, and there are two types of this rifle scope available. One is with capped turrets and the second one is with, like this one, with tactical turrets. There is a mil version available, like this one, and also a MOA version. The reticle, because it's in the second focal plane, does not change the size when you change the magnification. So you can use the reticle for measuring or bullet drop only on one magnification, which is at 10 times zoom. It's true mil or true MOA. So at 10 times zoom the lines in the reticle are the same as on the turret. The reticle in this one is the FD1, which is a typical European hunting reticle, and there are 3 reticles available in mil and 3 in MOA. All reticles have a illumination, and it depends what reticle you choose. Like the FD1, it has a illumination in the middle, so only a small dot, and other reticles, which are like a mil hash reticles, are entirely illuminated. Now, like this one, which has only a point illuminated, is also daytime bright, so even at direct sun you can really easily see the illumination. With reticles which are completely illuminated, it's not as bright, so it's more for lower light conditions. The scope has a auto turn off function, so if you turn the illumination on and then you don't use the scope, it shuts off after 1 hour of use, so you save a lot of battery life. It has 6 intensity settings, as you can see here, and the illumination can be switched on and off with this button here. For the intensity, you just have to rotate this ring here, and it can be operated also when the illumination is on. So it is also great because when you adjust your intensity, you can just switch off and then back on, and you always have the same illumination. It's not like some scope which you have to go up for the illumination and then again back down to stop the illumination, and you don't get always the same brightness level. Now the battery compartment for the illumination is here. So here is the CR CR2032 battery, and on the same turret is also the Parallax Adjustment. The parallax goes from 10 yards all the way to infinity, and the parallax is great. You really have a lot of space for fine-tuning of your parallax, so it feels also very smooth, and yeah, it's perfect. Now the eyepiece, as you can see here, is adjustable, and you also get this ring here for locking your eyepiece in position like this. This is great in my opinion, because mostly you adjust this only one time, and with this locking ring there is no possibility that you accidentally adjust your eyepiece. Now the adjustment is very smooth, and yeah, you also have a lot of adjustment for your diopter setting. Now the magnification ring feels also very smooth, and you get from the smallest to the biggest magnification in approximately 180 degrees. Now March includes also a throw lever, which is made out of plastic. I have to say, it's not, in my opinion, it's not the best design, but at least they include it in the box, and it is very simple to mount it. You just have to put it on the magnification ring, and other way, like this, it's already on, and like this you have a lot better grip for the magnification. The throw lever feels very good. There is no room when you mount it, and it is designed from plastic because if you use the scope for hunting or on a short DMR rifle or AR platform, and if you hit the scope somewhere in an obstacle, it more easily breaks off, so there is no possibility that you somehow damage the scope. Now the main tube is 30 millimeters, as I said, and now this, as I said, has tactical turrets, have clicks in milliradian. So one click on this turret is exactly 1 centimeter at 100 meters. And on the MOA model there are, I think, 1/4 of MOA clicks, so you have both options. In 1 revolution you get exactly 10 mil of travel, and March claims you have only 24 mil of elevation, so from the middle 12 up and 12 down, but the entire internal elevation of this scope is, I think, 45 mil, which is incredible. But if you go out of these 24 mil, you will notice a small optic degradation, so the image gets a bit worse if you use the scope on the low end or the high end of the travel. Now the clicks, as you can hear, are very tactile, and they feel perfect. You can make one click at a time, and yeah, they feel really good. Turret is very easy adjustable. You just have to unscrew the screws and turn the turret back so the zero is facing forward. And it also has a zero set function. You just take a coin when you zero in the scope, and you rotate this middle part here slowly until you feel a resistance. And when you feel it, then it means your zero set is already set. And what is good about this is that you can set wherever you want your zero. So you can make like, let's say 3 clicks beyond 0, or also 10 or even 20 clicks if you want. So it is a really nice design. What I don't really like is that you don't have any turn indicator, especially with a turret with more than 4 entire revolutions, because yeah, you can easily make a error of a whole revolution, and you see only these small lines under the turret. I hope you can see it here, or maybe now better. And this is the only indicator in which revolution you currently are. The vintage turret is also easy resettable, and also the clicks here feel very nice. I really like this turret because you have markings. Maybe you can see it now better when the image focus. That when you come to the end, like this one, you have almost 9 mil of windage, and you have in both directions the marking. So the turret does not go only up to the middle for the windage, but almost an entire revolution, but not further. So you cannot make any error to return into 0 into the wrong direction. But there are also markings on the turret, so you exactly know at which correction or windage you are. Even if you come, let's say, more than half, you still have both into left and right direction. Now for the optical properties, the image is, as I said, really good, as you would expect from March. Yeah, March is very known for their high optical quality, and on 1.5 times magnification you get a really big field of view, which is 23.4 meters at 100 meters. So it is extremely big, and this helps especially when hunting for fast target acquisition. At 15 times zoom, the field of view is 2.3 meters, and yeah, because of the 10 times zoom you get a really good image quality at the higher end. The scope has no tunneling effect, and the eye relief is from 70 to 93.7 millimeters. So even on strong recoiling rifles, you still have a lot of room for safety. The eye box is I would say, extremely good at the lower magnification, but also on the 15 times magnification it is also very good. So it's not difficult to use the scope or stay, let's say, perfectly on the reticle. Yeah, when you go to the lower or higher end of the elevation, as I said, you will see optical degradation. So the image is not, let's say, as crisp as if you use the scope in the middle of the elevation. Okay, and now what do you get in the box? First of all are these two caps, which are just for protection when the scope comes in the box. Then you get flip-up covers, which are made of plastic, but they actually feel really nice. Then a sunshade, which I would say you will never use. Then this small key for zeroing of your turret, and it has this small ring, so you can mount it on your keys or on the shooting bag, on the zip, so you don't lose it and you have it always by your side. Then a cleaning cloth, a modifier disk, which can be screwed inside in the objective like this. And what does this disk do? It's, as you can see here, it cuts light by 50% approximately. If you use the scope against the sun, let's say, it increases the depth of focus of approximately 50%, and it reduces the mirage when you have mounted on the scope. So as it stays here, you don't get any additional lenses. It is just a aluminum part with, I think, only 7 grams, and it does not interfere anything with the image. So on a bright day you will not notice if you have something mounted in the front of the objective. In darker conditions you will get a darker picture. So when you want to use the scope in lower light, you have to take this ring back down. And lastly, an owner's manual with all the data you need about the scope, so also about the reticles. Then some notice for mounting of your rifle scope, and also for the warranties. Should something go wrong with the scope, you have to write all your data inside, what's wrong with the scope, when you send the scope back in. Okay, and now for a short summary. First of all, the positives, and as you probably expect, what do I like about the scope is the compact size. It is just perfect for small compact rifles, ARs, or let's say hunting rifles with a short barrel, or if you have a short barrel with a mounted suppressor, it is just a perfect scope for such rifles. Then the weight it is extremely lightweight with only 670 grams. It is for everything, I would say, because you have a really small magnification with big field of view for target acquisition, but also 15 times zoom for let's say looking for details. Let's say on the animal you are watching, you see really great details with such a high magnification. Then that the scope is available with tactical and also capped turrets is also a great feature, and that it has mil and MOA turrets or even reticles. It's a really great feature. The clicks are great. Then they are also audible and also tactile, so you can feel every single click. The elevation adjustment it's incredible for a 30 mm main tube with 45 mm of adjustment. But the downside for such a high adjustment is the image, that it is a bit worse if you are not perfectly in center. Then the overall build quality, it's on the highest level, like all March rifle scopes. Eyepiece, that you have this locking function. I feel this is a really great solution. And lastly, that you get a lot of additional accessories with the scope. And now for the improvements, where do I see some room for improvements? First of all, on the elevation turret, a turn indicator. It would be great if, let's say, a small pin pops out when you will come to the second revolution or something, that you have a visual indication in which turn you are. It would be much easier than with these small lines under the turret. Then the image degradation, as I said, when you come to the higher or the lower end of the elevation, but mostly this is not an issue because almost nobody needs 45 mils of adjustment in a compact rifle scope like this with 15 times zoom. This is our elevation range for ELR shooting and not for hunting. And lastly, the illumination control. What do I mean here is that the intensity has to be adjusted with this small ring. It is not great because if you adjust it for the parallax already, and then you don't want to, or I mean, if you want to adjust the intensity, then you have to turn this ring. But mostly, maybe you can see here, when you adjust, you also rotate the parallax. So it's not ideal, because if you adjust the parallax, I don't want really that I mess with my parallax when I adjust the illumination. So I think this is all about the scope now. As I said, I really like the scope. It is some of the most universal rifle scopes on the market, and yeah, it's really great in my opinion. Okay, this was a short video review of the March Compact Tactical 1.5 to 15 by 42. If you have any additional questions, click the link below, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.